Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Now, this is the first video of hopefully many that I get to make for you guys, and I'm just gonna do how-tos on machining tips and tricks. Now today we're gonna talk about how to read G-code and how to understand it. Now basically, I'm going to talk about that, and hopefully you guys get something out of it. Now, over to my voiced over self and to the G-code program. So a G-code program is broken up to 3 parts, like an essay you would write in English. It has a beginning block, which basically tells the machine to set up a tool and run the tool. And then you have your middle program code, which is to cut threads, to rough out the diameters, to go ahead and change tools. And then after, you wrap it all up at the end with a set of codes to send the machine home, and either to end the program, or if you would have a bar feeder, you would repeat the program. So that's the basic parts of the machine codes. Now, for those of you who don't know G-code, I'm going to first explain what the numbers and letters are. So N codes are for numbering your code lines, basically to keep everything nice and organized, so you know which codes to get back into, because looking at this thing you can get all mixed up, and usually you go by 5s. Now G codes, they're your functions to do stuff. So now let's say if you have a G00, that means that you're telling the machine how to move and what rate to move at. Now a G0 is rapid. So for any G0 you don't want to cut in rapid, you're just rapiding to home and from home. That's what I usually use it for. Now those are G codes. Now M codes are your miscellaneous functions, which they're named. They're for turning stuff on and off. Let's say coolant or the spindle, or your beginning or ending of programs. And those are the basic things. So let's get right into the 3 main parts of the program. Now, as you can see in N1, that's basically telling the machine to go home from whatever position you are in. If you were like touching off the part or anything like that, you'd want to send it home. So that basically is a fail-safe, so you can send it home so you won't crash your tool in when you're changing the tool. Now down to the N5, it's basically sending what offset do you want for that tool and telling which tool it should change into. So now in this case it's T3. So it would be T3 and then O3, and then usually it's the same number as the offsets. So going down, after you initiated everything and you set your max spindle RPM in N10, and your feed rate for the hole cutting operation, which this is aluminum, so I'm cutting at 500 surface feed, and I'm turning the chuck on the direction with the cutter. That in this case would be MO3. And now let's go to N20. So basically this is telling the part what is my max diameter to rough out to. And in this part, as I'll show a finished part later at the end of the video. That is to finish, that is basically your starting stock diameter. That is to face the part and to clean up the surface if you were doing anything, and so the machine doesn't crash into the part. Now going on to the rest of it. So N30, I have a cycle set up to rough out all of the diameters and the radii. So basically this G71 covers all through N1, N35, and N150. As you can see over here, it's P35 and Q150. So Q is the ending, P is the beginning. So basically that's telling the machine what points do I need to run at, and what points do I need to start my cycle and finish my cycle at. And then you would go down, you would put in all the points that you need. If you're familiar with programming, you would just enter in the specifications on the print on whatever you need. And then to end the cycle, you would shut off tool cutter comp, send the machine home, and then now you can, now I have an option stop on here, so that's why I have the MO5. Now I need to start grooving for the threading operation. So that's why I would call T202, which would be the grooving operation. Sorry, my cat's in the background. And then same thing as before, but this one you're not using a cycle. You're just going straight in and telling the machine, I want you to start at this point, go in, go out, and then go home. And that would be the grooving for 3 positions, because in the part I have one relief groove for the thread and one groove at the end, which this part's a widget. I'm not really sure what it's for. And then after that, I would do the threading of the tool. Well, I would do the thread that's on the top of the tool, and basically this is its own cycle too, so you would have to put the surface feed. Now for the threading operation, the machine needs to know what specifications you are making for the thread, and in that line it's N20. Apart from the regular beginning of the tool, this one's a G76, which is telling the machine this is a threading operation. And now you can start entering pitch diameter for the thread, your pitch, and your major diameter, and how much you want to take per cut. And basically, guys, that is it for the end of the video. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video and learned a little bit about machining today. And on that note, I hope you guys could write a program yourself. All right, see you everybody. Peace out.